All right, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and I know what you guys are gonna say. Go easy on the Cyclops videos, bro. That this is your fifth Cyclops video in a row. You need to calm it down. It's getting too much at this point. And I promise I'll stop as soon as I give you guys all the information that I want to share in regards to the character, right? Because a lot of you guys think he's not worthwhile. I think he's pretty badass, and we got to find some middle ground for him overall. So there's a few things that I still need to cover for Cyclops. You guys want to see him with a CTP of energy, with a CTP of rage. We still got to test him out against Galactus on Saturday. But for today, what I wanted to do instead of any of that is actually show you guys how he does without this uniform. I'm just going to play him with the base kit, and I want you guys to see what you're in store for if you decide to tier 3 Cyclops and you don't have a uniform for him. Frankly, it's not that impressive. I'm going to be honest with you guys. What you're going to be able to do with Cyclops without this Phoenix 5 uniform, you can do much better with level 70 characters, maybe even some level 60 characters, because the base kit damage is extremely low, and he's also losing the ability to heal on his 5th kill. So his survivability goes down the toilet, and so does his damage. But the tier 3 skill still has a lot of sauce to it, and he also loses the ability to do really high stages against Ebony Moss. So right now with Cyclops, he can beat all of the bosses in World Boss Ultimate if you have him decked out. I'm gonna show you guys how he does against Proxima in a couple days, but just take my word for it. With the Phoenix 5 uniform, he actually becomes strong enough to do all 5 bosses, and that's pretty good. But with this one, he's losing a lot of damage, and I dropped from like 70 Ebony to, I'm gonna show you guys, okay? So the build is exactly the same. We didn't change anything at all, and I wanted to do this before I put a CTP on him, because I know many of you guys who don't have a uniform, you're not gonna give a CTP to Cyclops, and I would definitely tell you not to do that, okay? Unless he's your favorite character, and if he's your favorite character, then you're gonna buy the Phoenix 5 uniform, right? So I'm gonna show you guys right here, man. So this is about as high as I can go with Cyclops, no uniform. And this is with Nick Fury replacing Ghost Panther here. So we have basically the same amount of stats, like in terms of the buffs that we're receiving, because we're going to use Fury's lead plus Fury's tier 2 passive. Then we're going to use Phil Coulson here. Where are you, my guy? It's been a while since I've used you. Damn, you're all the way down here. And then we're going to pick up Scotty. Where is he? There we go. All right, so now that he's back to being a hero, we can use him with Fury and Coulson. And yeah, 50 is about where he taps out right now. Whereas with the villain uniform, granted, we have it at Mythic, right? He's pushing 70. So that's a pretty big drop off if you ask me. I think what I'm going to do here is replace, I'm going to replace Sue there with my girl Scarlet. Gotta show her some love, man. Now, what I want you guys to take a look here is just how low his base kit damage is, right? So if you don't have the uniform, you don't see yourself buying it, you shouldn't move Cyclops from level 60. You shouldn't do it because, yeah, the damage is non-existent, like it really is. And we're also losing the heal. So you're basically going to have to sacrifice a striker spot for him. Hold up, especially when you're on a stage with the the Toxic Meteor, whereas with him, like, look at that, barely, well, I wouldn't say barely any damage. That's like a decent amount of damage, but it's nothing stellar. Like with the uniform, we could melt. I'm gonna show you guys what the difference is with the uniform in a sec, right? So we're gonna get off another tier 3 skill here, and basically with Cyclops no uniform, if you don't proc on your tier 3, you get no damage at all, right? It's literally peanuts, man. Like, I'll show you guys in a sec. So it's taking us like a solid minute here, right, to get this guy down to 12 bars. Now watch this. Now I know it's not the exact same team, right? But he's becoming a villain, and I'm going to give him, this is his best hero team. This is the best hero team that you can give the Cyclops no uniform, right? So we're going to switch over to the villain uniform here real quick. And I'm going to show you guys that with the best villain team, right, and the best hero team, there's a big difference because this uniform is just offering so much to him, right? It's not perfect. It's definitely not perfect. They could have done better, but it's offering a lot more than the base kit. Now, let's do this thing. Also, he's a lot more fun to play. I can't stress that enough. Like Cyclops' base kit is basically just Shadowland only. Like look at this. The damage on just like his regular skills is doing more damage than multiple tier 3s. Right? Look at this. We don't even look at that. Like that's mental, right? It literally took us multiple tier 3s to bring him down. You guys can argue that I played better or whatever, but there's nothing else to say here, right? You should not, absolutely not tier 3 Scott if you're not going to pick up this uniform, right? It's basically like shooting yourself in the foot. The base kit and this uniform is basically the same thing. I don't even want to test this because this is basically just a waste of time, right? I'm gonna just go ahead and take him into a few more like boss stages so you guys can see like it's really a big drop off, right? With the uniform, we could do like I would say 65, I think 65, 66. That's what I showcased to you guys, right? Now we can barely do 55 Corvus, right? But we actually have to sacrifice one of our lovely strikers here, right? And yeah, I think we're gonna give yeah, anti-venom a spot there. We're gonna actually have to get rid of somebody else like right here because we need the heal. But you know what? Let's not even bring the heal. Let's not rely on that crutch because we really want to show the differences. Now, I know that 20% heal may seem like it's nothing, but trust me, guys, it really makes a big difference, especially when the stage modifiers are stuff like blade twisters and toxic meteors, right? We're not gonna stand in. Look how little damage his fifth skill is doing, right? And I completely like forgot that is I've gotten so used to him moving around with the fourth skill that now when he doesn't move around, I'm kind of like dumbfounded, like I'm kind of like left just like with my pants down, like waiting for him to move like that that triangular spin that he does, right? So you can see like the tier 3 still has the sauce, right? It still has the sauce, but man, the damage falls off quite a lot. Like you're literally looking at, I would say 10, 15, 20 levels difference between the mythic uniform for this guy, right? And no uniform at all. I would say like with the Marvel Now uniform, it's maybe a little bit different, but it's not much. It's not by much, right? Maybe like instead of 15, 20 levels, you'd be looking like 12 to 18 levels, right? So it's basically a waste of money, right? If you don't already have it, you shouldn't be buying it. Honestly, you should go from the base to the Phoenix or just not touch Scott at all, right? You'll see for yourself like these skills not doing no damage. These are like 2015 skills, right? Back when the hardest content in Marvel Future Fight was story mode. You know what I'm saying? Back before Shadowland even existed, right? It is quite sad. It's quite pathetic, to be honest. So if you're looking at Scott, if you're watching my videos and you're like, damn, he looks beastly and you don't have the uniform, listen to what I said to you previously, okay? Do not build this guy unless you buy the uniform, okay? Because sure, you could definitely beat content with them, but it's gonna be much harder than what I've showcased to you guys previously, right? And ultimately, like what I want to show you guys is the best the character can do, but I also have to highlight some of the things that I think is wrong with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? And what I think is wrong with him is without the uniform, the damage is god awful, and he has like terrible survivability. It's not being highlighted here too much because I'm making sure not to like be super reckless. Where with the Phoenix uniform, I can basically just do what I want when I want, and we're not gonna let ourselves take any fire damage there. Like with the Phoenix uniform, I would have just stood in that, but I guess that's just a matter of personal preference. Like if you want to play the game how it's supposed to be played, like I don't know, like dodge attacks and do all that, then yeah, maybe this is for you. But you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's not. Maybe you want to like have fun and not worry about dropping dead. I don't know. I don't know, man. But I actually had to like highlight this for you guys, right? I think it's something that you should definitely consider before you even move the character from level 60, right? You should definitely consider the fact that he absolutely needs his uniform to be a worthwhile tier 3. There's plenty of tier 3s in the game, right? Or characters in general that needs their uniform to be where they are. And I think Scott is, I missed the prot there, but I just wanted to push him down into his next phase. Woo! I think Scott is definitely one of those, right? I kind of blew it there, right? I didn't see that he got mind controlled, so I tagged Scott out, and this is wasting a lot of time. So we kind of basically wasted that tier 3 there, but we're just going to do a little bit more of this fight. And boys, against Call Obsidian, the drop-off is insane. Like with the uniform, we did 50. That was easy. We basically walk through it. I'm just so used to being reckless with him now that, yeah, I guess I kind of got lazy and I took the heal for granted. Right, let's just body this. Let's see if we can get like 4 bars. That's one. That's damn. I thought I was gonna get at least 2. Right, it's still decent damage for 55 with a blast character. Because again, I need to highlight that blast characters, right, take a massive reduction here. Right, so even though everybody's gonna tell you that this is the easiest boss, there's still a challenge here. Right, there's still definitely a challenge here. So like it's basically like 2 bars, 1.5, like 1 and 3/4, I guess. Right. So I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of color obsidian. I don't want to keep you guys too long, right? I know a couple of you guys are gonna think this is like very repetitive, but I do need to highlight this, right? I don't want any of you guys building him up, getting him to tier 3, thinking he's great even without the uniform, because he's really not. Without the uniform, oops, I need to switch the strikers here. Pause. My bad, guys. Let me switch the strikers real quick. I got caught up in talking and I just like clicked the buttons before I realized what I was doing. But yeah, without the uniform, it's definitely a big difference. His skills don't do nearly enough damage to be worthwhile. Okay, so keep that in mind, guys. Let's actually drop these 2. Let's put in Weapon X and it doesn't really matter. I guess anti-venom. We really need anti-venom here because this guy has a lot of bleed. But we're not even gonna run the whole fight. I just want to show you guys what a couple tier 3s look like against this guy, because it really doesn't do that much. Like if you thought what we're doing against Corvus wasn't much, it does even less here, right? So there's a big drop off between what the uniform can do and what the base kit can do, even if you're using like the best possible team, which I think this is the best hero team for him, right? And I think the Ghost Panther team with Shuri is probably the best team for him with survivability and damage taken into consideration. I know some of you guys are gonna say, well, Satana's leadership is probably better for him, but I don't know. I think bringing Shuri instead of Satana is probably better because it gives him a little bit of extra tankiness. He can take some more hits outside of his damage immunity, but he also has invincibility, right? Actually, I should have tried to proc there, but we're gonna go right there. Come on, where's my damage proc? Damn, that was barely any damage, but that's because I missed some of it. One thing that I really like about Scott, though, I can't lie about his tier 3, is it takes up a large portion of the map. So it's really hard to completely miss with it. And you'll notice, like, let me go all the way down here, see if we can showcase that. Like, just look closely at the AoE on it. Like, look at that. It's mental. The range is insane, right? So that's one good thing. Like, unlike somebody like Captain America and a couple other characters where you have to really worry about your tier 3 getting canceled out. Nah, he has iframe ignore. There is very few times that I've seen his tier 3 get canceled. One time was against Ebony, and I have no idea to this day how it happened, why it happened, and it hasn't happened since. Right, so we got some good damage here, but that's thanks to the defense down. But you'd always be using defense down above like 35, right? Anyways, boys, we're going to wrap it up right here, man. Just wanted to give you guys a little bit more information in regards to Scott. Apologies if the content kind of seems like repetitive, but whenever I get a new character to tier 3, I like to give you guys as much content as possible on them, just in case you guys see me with a tier 3 character and you're considering tier 3 in that character as well. I don't recommend just following me blindly. That's why I always make multiple videos highlighting the strengths and the weaknesses of the characters, right? So next time, maybe we'll look at the CTP of energy or the CTP of rage. So if there's anything else besides that you want to see, hit me up in the comments. We can definitely do that. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Can't lie though, with the uniform, he's pretty good. And now that I've looked at him without the uniform and with the uniform, I can definitely say that this thing is a little bit more worthwhile than I initially thought it would be. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still not something that I would buy if I didn't see myself like getting him to tier 3. So that's something for you guys to consider. I wouldn't buy this and then keep him at level 6. Would make him better for Shadowland, slightly better for World Boss, but you're not going to see real power, real significant change until you get the Rays of Ruin. It doesn't look like much, right, stat-wise, but it is a whole lot. That's just my 2 cents, boys. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.